Don't have time for colouring? Then this is a fun technique for you. Hi there, it's Therese from Lost in Paper, and I've got some beautiful flowers from Alan Hutson. I haven't used these in a while, and I just thought with the style of these stamps they would make really good line art images, which makes for a fun quick card, like no colouring. If you need a card in a hurry, this is a really good technique, and you can actually use so many different kinds of stamps with this, but I thought I'd do 2 floral cards today. I wanted them to be bright and cheery because they're cards for a couple of girls who are retiring at work, and I thought what better way to do that than have like a watercolor wash background. And then I was thinking, I haven't smooshed in a while, and if you haven't smooshed before and you're not a confident colorer, this is a great technique. I've got 2 pieces of Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is a nice sort of, it's not watercolor cardstock, but it does tolerate quite a bit of water. And what I'm doing here is actually just working on my craft mat. I'm adding the actual ink directly to the mat from the ink pad, and I've just grabbed some distress ink colors that I thought would work well together. And I will always, like as I usually do, have every product that I've used today listed below as much as I can. Otherwise they'll also be listed at my blog, and like a full list of all the details and more pictures, and you can link to Pinterest and see what else I've been up to over there as well. But basically I'm just adding some water to the ink and then picking it up with a piece of acetate. That's all this is. You could even use stamp packaging, anything that you have on hand, anything that's non-porous that's going to pick up this ink. To spread it further, I'm just pressing down on the acetate and letting the water do its thing. Now I didn't want to wait for it to dry today, so I have got my heat tool here and I've got it on the low setting. You can use a normal heat tool if you've only got one with the high setting, but just make sure not to hold it too close to your paper and keep the tool moving so it doesn't burn your cardstock. Now I did come in with the pink on one of the pieces, but I didn't want to do the same on the second. So here I'm just sort of looking through my colours and trying to work out. I was going for like an analogous look, so I thought it needed some more peacock feathers. So that was easy enough to come in and add that. And all these bits of ink that are off to my side can actually be used on another piece of cardstock. You don't have to wipe it away and waste it like I'm doing today, but I was just wanting to do these 2 cards today, but you could certainly just grab another piece of cardstock or even just some normal Neenah and drop it into those puddles of ink as you're going along. Now it's time to do the line art, and that's simply exactly what it is. It means no colouring. You can just leave the stamp to shine on its own, and to work out where I want to put it and what works beneath, I'm just using the packaging here. It's as simple as that. To do it, I do like to remove the stamp from the packaging. It just gives me a better idea of the look, especially if you've used your stamp a few times and it's a little bit on the dirty side. Well, not dirty, stained, loved. And then I can just use my Misty tool here to stamp my images out. And I'm using a nice dark black pigment ink, like the one I've got here is the Nocturne, but the Obsidian from Altenew is awesome as well. I just use whichever one I grab out of my drawer. They're both wonderful. And I did actually hit these. I stamped them twice to make sure I got a good impression. The Bristol Smooth is that, though. It's smooth cardstock, so it does stamp well. But I did actually come in and hit it with my heat tool just a little bit to make sure that it dried before I started. I didn't want to smudge the ink because it is a bit slower to dry on the Bristol. Here what I'm doing is lining up one of the rectangles because I know I'm going to be cutting these panels out with some of the Alan Hutson Essential Rectangles. It's a layering die set. Wonderful set. It actually has like double the amount of rectangles, like it's back to back, so you've got every possible size that you could need. And I wanted to center it on these colours, so I just used that rectangle on the base so I knew where I wanted to put it. I used a slightly larger size on, that's the Mondo. The one I'm die cutting now is actually called, the set's called You Should Know, and the analogous, like the blue green one, that's the Mondo Pansy, and they're both beautiful stamps and really kind of great to watercolor or just color with any medium really. And this is one of the best things about these rectangles, is they give you a border. As you die cut them, you get a really cool border out of each layer. And I did do a double layer of foam here to pop up my panel in the center of that, and added a sentiment which is from the Nicer View set. It has a coordinating die set, and I just created a whole sheet of these all at once. One stamp, one heat emboss, one cut, and you've got 20 sentiments. I don't know how many. I'm lying. A lot of sentiments ready to go. My second sentiment, it comes from one of the totally random sayings. It's the volume 1 set. I've white heat embossed it on some black cardstock, and I want to make it like a circle sentiment. So I did just line up to get it perfectly centered, I just lined up a template that I die cut already. And I also came in and I did pop that panel up on that one, but not the outside portion, and then added some jewels and crystals from the Pinkfresh Studio sets, which I love. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you were inspired to try some line art. It's a really quick and easy way to get some beautiful floral cards. If you do, please tag me and let me know what you created. I'd love to see it. If you liked the video, please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the channel. I'll be back again real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.